I'm going to make some kind of miso soup. I don't even know where I put it. I just put things in random spots. By the way, this set honey is like my new favorite kind of honey. And honey has so many calories, but I don't know, it's natural. I guess I don't really care. I mean, I kind of care because I feel like I don't want to say it made me gain weight. I don't want those words to manifest, but definitely added a little bit of fluff. I mean, it is winter too. I feel like it's just so natural to gain weight in the winter. I mean, I could have found this before. There's like cooking shows that they start off and then they already have like all the ingredients ready to go. But this is not a cooking show. This is the reality of at this moment, my chaos. Anyways, set honey. I don't know what it even means, set. I used to love raw honey, I cannot find it. I don't know what, it was just creamy and it's like, it's so good. I already went through this entire bottle in 1 week. It's not, it's too much. Come on. I go to the other fridge, I just have a bunch of berries. So every time I walk in there, I just grab a handful of blueberries, and these blueberries are so big. Like, look how big these are. Oh my god, this Yorkie chocolates as well. It's as bad. Eating chocolate way more than I used to. Chocolate's good for you, right? Oh, did this just run away? It just ran away from me. I got so many of these sardines. I started eating them for breakfast, but I can't. I mean, I find if you grill them and you mash it up, it's not like you're eating an actual fish. It's less intimidating. They're supposed to be really, really good for you. I mean, I don't know how good things in cans are for you, but... Oh, and this vitamin D3 plus K2. I keep telling everyone to take this, but I don't even take it. I'm very critical sometimes. I think I have these supplements I buy and I don't even take them. I want to give up. Why is it not here? I should take this. I believe in like eating healthy. Eat healthy, and then there's some things you do need, like vitamin D. I think most people are deficient in vitamin D. D3 plus K2. But not all companies are created equally because a lot of them are just white labeled. It's all the same pill, and then you're just consuming not even highly derived ingredients, mostly marketing. Why did I not find this before? It really is not ideal to be drinking caffeine at 4 p.m., but here we go again. So it says it gets dark at 4:55, so I have some time. I was thinking, should I go on a walk and then come back and make the soup that I was thinking? I'll come back and make the kimchi. I could just make the soup now. I mean, it's so easy to do. I'm actually trying to have my phone away from me as much as possible because I just feel like I'm always having stuff beside me. But why? I don't talk to anyone. I just have these apps and I end up going on them, and I think I'm very mindful. I'm not gonna watch something mindless, and I'm kind of obsessed with learning. I'm obsessed with getting information in, but I'm realizing the way I need to learn needs to be way more selective, because like going on and watching anything that's shorter is ruining my brain. And I'm finding it hard to like, I can sit still and be in periods of silence, but it's hard to get back to those. First of all, it takes away your time so fast. It's not that consuming anything is wrong. It's nice to have all this access to information so fast and to different perspectives and to different people. I don't think the internet is all bad and I need to just avoid it. I just think I need to be very intentional with the internet. I mean, everyone does. It doesn't even matter if you're consuming anything that's healthy. You go on something that's like more shorter form, and it is designed also in a way where it doesn't really feed you creativity for the most part, unless you find specific niche people that you can follow. But in my observations, it does not really show that. It kind of shows what would keep you addicted. Dopamine hits or make you to watch something that you feel seen and validated, and it's like you just wasted your time. It wasn't inspiring. I remember when I used to go on the internet when I was a kid. I kind of grew up in a time where with the internet it was so inspiring. I felt like it was so creative. Everyone was obsessed with Tumblr and all this stuff. That was a really interesting period of time. A lot of people now just have realized how big of an impact the phone has made on us in a negative sense. They're just going completely cold turkey. And then these people are also kind of the people that kind of want to live in nature or just have connection. I think a lot of people are moving towards that. Okay, I got this spoon. I love this spoon. And I think this is a bread knife, and I don't know what this is, but whatever. Just take whatever knife looks most appealing to me and feel like I get the job done. I think it'd be so cool to get into knives. To get into, like, have a proper chef's kitchen. I mean, I'm like, I don't need it, but I want a proper chef's kitchen with knives. I always cook when I'm in, like, a nice kitchen, so nice environments. I cook so much more. When I'm not, I'm like, I can go forever not cooking. It's not even like I like cooking, it's just that I find it can be quite meditative, honestly. And I mean, I could just pour this. I think it can be quite meditative, and then you could listen to an audiobook or a podcast, and that's something I'm actually trying to get away from, because I find a lot of podcasts that were the ones that I can find today, it's not as informative. It's like exploring things, but I want to go deeper on like everything. I love learning. I just want to find new ways to learn. I think that also means like longer form audiobooks, and I've kind of been more of a podcast person versus an audiobook person, because audiobooks do take a lot longer to read, and I've always kind of read books not just for the enjoyment of reading. Like, I've actually never been a reader really ever, and I haven't really read that many books in my life physically, but I do listen to audiobooks. I want to listen to more and less podcasts, because now it's like I want to explore the long form thought, and I want to explore the way they write, the way they think, all these different things that comes with a book. But before it was just like I want the information, the knowledge, and podcasts can really give that to you much faster, I find. But then I'm like, oh, you're always just exposed to the same concepts. I want to go out and seek the concept that I'm interested in, and I'm finding it harder to define. I mean, I could have just poured it the whole time. It's not pretty that way. The thing is, I feel like I'm always, or so far, I've done a lot of, I guess, like healthy cooking, and sometimes I record that. I don't know. I just love healing foods, and I do like to cook. Going back to what I was saying about it being quite meditative, sometimes slowing down can actually help you to get more done, because you're having breaks or you're having space in the day. And I used to be the kind of person where like I was terrified of slowing down, because I used to think slowing down meant you're kind of like giving up on your ambitions. And there's something about people that are 25 or 30 or even 35, and they don't really have much ambition. And that was kind of the thing where I always repelled about a slow life, is that that's the way I'm built. I'm built to be ambitious. Wait, should I put them in whole leaves? The thing is also with cooking, I just like to experiment, and I don't like to follow recipes. I know recipe is just like a structure for success, but I don't like following the rules. Okay, so anyways, what was I even saying? I don't know why I didn't drink this earlier. Honestly, what was I saying? I never usually forget. Something about slowing down. Yeah, so I've lived in cities for periods of time. I mean, I've been traveling forever, but I've lived in different cities. And I remember when I was in New York, like New York was my end-all be-all. It was like my dream destination. And then when I got the opportunity to stay there for, I think it was 4 months. I said 3 or 4, I think it was 4 months. Because the way I work is, I work a lot, and I'm doing different things inside, being creative, doing different things on my laptop and stuff like that. I kind of felt like, oh my god, I need to be in nature. I would rather drive in the middle of the forest or something, and I'd rather walk in the middle of the forest, or I'd walk in the middle of nowhere than walk around New York bumping into a bunch of people just on a random Wednesday just because you're going to get your groceries. I mean, I do miss Whole Foods. I do. I feel like I was constantly bumping into people. It's like, I think when you're in a period of time where you're laser focused, slowing down can actually give you the opportunity to do more. And that's the way I look at it now. Like, when I want to focus on something, for the most part, I'm not in the city hustling and bustling. I am in the country. I'm in the country. It's kind of been my new thing. In like January and February, I like to spend it alone. This is my new tradition that I just made up. Well, I did it last year, and this year I was like, I'm gonna come to this countryside, but I'm here until the end of February, and I thought, you know what, that's perfect. Quiet, isolation, you have this space to be able to hear your thoughts. But when I think about if I want to like live here forever and every day, I don't think I would. And it's so beautiful. But there's so many different realities of life that I want to live. And I just look at, okay, this is a season. I want to be in the countryside for a season, but I don't want to be isolated here forever. And I think that's okay. And it's still okay to love cities. I love cities. And I used to say, well, it's disconnection, but is it? Because we made it, and it can be creation. You don't have to choose one side about anything. You can what? I feel like I don't have enough broth. I don't know what I was going to say. I'm not going to finish this sentence because, you know what? I can't think of anything. I don't know. It just didn't come out of my mouth. So, never force anything. It's okay to just ramble. That's the other thing. I feel like sometimes I don't pick up my camera because I feel like I have to be prepared for something. But then I'm also, like, prepared for what? Is not performative. And there's nothing wrong with creating something that out of your mind. A lot of people are like, well, that's fake, it's not real, it's creation, and it's performative, and it is. But it's also not wrong to be, I guess, performative. When we're kids, some of us do theater. I was a theater kid kind of for a while, and I always wanted to actually get more into theater and things like that. And there's nothing wrong to play and to explore and to co-create, and a way we can do that now is in the digital age. I think that the future of the digital age is going to be a lot healthier than it is now. There's a lot of people that are going to rise and they're going to co-create from in a way that like connects us all, because this is, I guess, like the age of disconnection and isolation. Everyone feels so alone. But I think that there's going to be like a rise of a lot of events and stuff in person. See, I think it's like me, I would love to actually have community, but there's so many people that throw events for money. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like an exchange of time and value. The way I mean community is not this like, okay, let's go sit and do breath work together in a circle, but not that that's wrong. But it's just more of like a deeper soul thing. I think that does come from individual things and individual relationships or alignment. Also, everyone's leading us back to ourselves. Oh my God, did you hear that? There's a fire. So, I don't know. Then I just go back to, it's just better to be alone. In solitude, to focus on creations. The thing about when you do create from your soul, I guess, you're not going to be as understood or mainstream or things like that. That's why there's also not a lot of as interesting and inspiring and uplifting and more peaceful creations. There is just not, it's not like the overwhelming thing. Not just because of algorithms, but there's a bunch of reasons why. When it comes to different realities, I would say living in a farmhouse and the countryside. I do love UK countryside, but now that I have a big experience here, like I don't know if I want to live here. Or I've always loved where I'm from, Canada, and I've always wanted to live in kind of the forest as well, but also the countryside. I always like, oh, it would be so nice to live in France or Edinburgh, the countryside of like Scotland. And my ancestors are from there. To have horses and the ranch. Eventually I'm going to have to, when I'm older, eventually hopefully have the opportunity and the luxury to settle down and make my own space. But it's always terrified me. It's funny because I do these peaceful things, all these peaceful lives, but I also created to go back to the city and to be around other people and stuff like that. So I don't want to choose. A city works best if you're living more externally, and I think the country works better if you are wanting to focus more on things. I mean, there's people that are hustling in the cities, but I feel like they're hustling, like they're doing these things outside themselves, like they're going to work or a job in the system or a job for someone else, like they're going and then they're meeting up with friends and they actually have a life. I feel like there's different kinds of people. There's people that have a life, and there's people that create life, if that makes sense. I mean, everyone creates life. Life creates life, and we're all alive, and we're all creating in our own ways. But I think that there's people like that have a more well-rounded life. But when it comes to other people, their life is their creations, and then when it comes to other people, they are just more intentional. Maybe that's why they like to be in the countryside. Anyways, I'm gonna go on that walk. It's like freezing now. I'm actually really wet. Not soaking wet, but wet. and I'm able to change my pants. These are one of the only pairs of pants that actually fit me. It's so hard to find pants that fit me, and that's why I'm always wearing skirts with socks in the winter because it's just so much more comfortable. My hands are stinging. They don't look so red anymore. Kind of do. Probably is one of my favorite feelings ever, coming out from outdoors. Even like getting rain on you. Sometimes it's a little bit inconvenient, you to change or whatever, or it ruins your makeup, ruins your hair, but at the end of the day, it feels so good. You feel so calm, you feel so zen. There is really not many wellness things I think you could do that would feel better than just walking in the rain or swimming in the rain. One of my favorite things to do in the summers, if there's ever a storm, sometimes in the summer where I grew up, there was these tropical storms in every thunder and lightning. My favorite thing to do when we storm it, when we go swim in the lake, it's like the most therapeutic feeling in the world. And then after, you just feel like $1,000,000. You feel so refreshed. I want to do more things like that outside and to really immerse myself in nature, even in winter. I sometimes I like to be cozy, but wow, do you feel so amazing after? This entire room is a complete disaster, and this is just the room that all my stuff's over. This room is dedicated to, I have over 3 suitcases on the floor, and they each weigh probably 200 pounds. I'm considering moving to Canada, moving back to Canada. Not where I'm from, but like moving to a new city in Canada, new province in Canada. I can't carry these 3 in the plane. I have a problem. And I don't even wear, like, every day I just wear basically the same things. No, I don't. I'm trying to make an effort to wear different things. I'm tired of wearing pants. Sometimes I just wear dresses because I'm like, why not? They're so comfortable. Just go through this, but I want to make soup. I actually have like no pants. And I have 1,000 tops. I'm usually not this disorganized. Like, this is kind of extreme messy for me, but you know what? It's the reality right now, so. I mean, 2 days ago it was not like this. Oh my god, I'm terrified to look through this journal. Like, I'm actually terrified. The things I was writing was so unhinged. This was maybe 6 months ago. It's crazy to think that's how long ago it was. I was in another dimension. I can't talk about this stuff even on a podcast. I have to write about it because it's not crazy. It's just that when I'm grounded and I feel like I'm centered, I think it's a little crazy, but I know that's not true, and I know that my mind was not in this dimension, and I feel like I just knew too much to dismiss what I would write in here. It would dismiss a part of myself, and that could be the truest part of myself. I could just be lying to myself right now with my 3D ego mind. My mind likes to hold on to these things, but when I wrote this, I lost my mind. Reaching any point of spiritual high, you are literally foregoing your mind. Have something flow through you is exhilarating and it's confusing, and you realize all these things. It's hard to discern what's actually true. I mean, I think about reality every day. This is very interesting stuff, and I will tell no one. I'm giving up. What's wrong with me? I'm usually not this unless I start. I go between like getting rid of everything and then I go thrifting. Just like that is so me. That's such my style. And the UK has such good clothes, but I was buying clothes like I was never going to leave. I was looking for that. Oh my god, look at me. I have so many of these because I have recorded things for the longest time, and I fill these up and I don't end up doing it without them. Like, it's horrible. At the time I create something and I am done with it, I'm like, that is mortifying. It doesn't matter. So I'm just like, you know what? We are embracing imperfection because you are chaotic, Rosalind. And everything you create has to be like a masterpiece. What if you just create in the moment? What if you can do that too? Just be. I need a tank top that's longer than this. This is a shirt, but it could work as a dress. Could it? It's risky. Put it on the wrong way. No pants. It's way too short though. I ended up changing my shirt, not my pants. Looks good too. This feels comfortable. I give up. last time. Last time I changed. Like, what is this dress? It's a little short. I love tops like this, all the shoulder tops. It's so hard to find clothes that actually fit my body type. Not that everything has to fit so tight, but sometimes I'm like, why have I got done in a span of a month? And I get really hard on myself. I'm like, okay, this is why I want to be so intentional with my time. And then I remember I do stuff like this, and I just spend forever looking for something because I'm just so type B. I mean, I'm so organized my own way. I saw this picture on the internet once. It was like a meme or something, and it was this how my brain looks, and it was this thing about all the paper spread out. But actually, my brain feels very peaceful and feels very organized. It's just that sometimes when you're so focused on your internal world, you don't pay as attention to your external world. People say your external, how your room looks. This is not my room. My room upstairs is clean. This is just where I avoid everything. Because I definitely have avoiding tendencies still, which I'm working on, but like everyone, I feel like everyone has avoiding tendencies. You know what? It's much more fun being avoidant than it is being anxiously attached, because when I was unhealed, I was so anxiously attached. Now I feel secure. It's not even avoidant, it's just like I am delegating this in my brain. It's just not as important. I was gluten-free for how long? I was gluten-free for so long, and then I found out I could eat sourdough bread. Then I found out that butter was a superfood, so now I've been buying sourdough bread and butter, but the problem is that I keep buying it and I'm eating way too much of it, and I want to get leaner. I probably should not be eating as much sourdough bread as I have. Like I buy it, I eat like half the loaf. I don't tell myself that I'm not going to eat it, but I just do. I think it's fine because I eat so healthy. Like, I'm not restrictive. It's so good. Ah! It's like stuck in the toaster. Oh, I keep burning it though. I like it with just butter, but I like it toasted as well. This would be considered unhealthy food to me. I guess I've been more lenient because before I would just eat no bread, no butter. Butter's, I don't know, I think it's healthy. Whatever. I'm sure there's worse things. I know it's a very common thing to make tea in the UK. But I got into it, and now I have like a little tea all the time. I thought that'd be so fun when I make soup to have tea. These are non-bleached tea bags. I'm yelling. I feel like I'm yelling because I have my microphone with me, and my camera's over there. So, oh, that's all that's in it. Organic black tea, and then these tea bags are unbleached, which is good. Like it's even legal to have bleached tea bags. But I seriously need to stop buying sourdough bread. Oh, once a month, not twice a week. Before that, I was having a problem not eating because I just would forget to eat because I was so focused and I would just forget. But now I'm like, the sourdough's here, I'm gonna eat it. I did read something about women that give in to their desires. Like, it's funny to me that I'm drinking milk because also I'm eating sourdough bread and I'm drinking dairy. And for like 10 years, I was gluten-free and dairy-free. I got tests done when I was younger. I went to a naturopath clinic and I got my blood centrifused, and what came up with huge sensitivities was actually dairy. This was with my mom too, so I think it's like maybe a genetic thing. But I think also the reason why gluten doesn't bother me anymore and dairy doesn't, like dairy does affect my skin, but at the same time, I'm not going to drink seed oil milks, and all these, basically 95% of these milks have like seed oils in them, and I'm also sensitive. I'm not allergic, but I'm also sensitive to nuts. And I think like the more that you heal your immune system, the more you just like build up antibodies, and you actually can cure certain allergies. Sometimes you can be allergic to something, but in like 10 years you cannot be allergic to something. Every 7 years our cells are completely different. Like our cells completely change. So maybe that's a factor as well, because I got that done over 10 years ago. Well, maybe like 10 years ago. I think the first time I had gluten was because it used to make me so sick when I went to Italy. When I was living in Italy, and I was like, okay, I'm very, very healthy, and I would never normally eat pizza or cheese in like Canada or the States, especially the States. I think it's worse in Canada, but I don't even trust the cheese there. I eat cheese here because it looks so much realer, and I think that there's things going on in the UK with the food, but this hurts. I'm just like squatting down to talk to my camera, but it's good to do some exercise. Oh my god, I've not exercising forever since walking. I'll just cut my story short, but now I can drink dairy, now I can eat gluten, but obviously ideally just tend to eat mostly fruit. That's not like a fruitarian. See, I love cooking if it can be with candle lights and a nice peaceful environment and no overhead lights. They stress me the hell out. You can just sit down and it's very meditative. Anyways, I decided I'm going to make some squash soup too, but the roasties, because I've had these forever. I don't know if I'll make the kimchi tonight. Maybe I will. I might as well. I have all the ingredients. We'll see. First I'm going to do the soup, and this is just so easy. Just adding miso, the broth I already made, and all the vegetables. I think I'm going to add some water, which is fine because the broth is very potent. I feel like I have a cooking show. I don't know if I said this earlier, but honestly, I don't love cooking. Like, I like making soups and stuff like that, and I like making food where I can just have a big batch of it and I can just like have that for the week or whatever, or even freeze some, because I don't like cooking elaborately every night. I know there's some women that do that, but honestly, it can be fun and it can be soothing. I mean, I'm in peace. I don't have anyone disturbing me, like any children or anything like that. And I think if you were constantly rushing like that, that would be a whole different story. But at the same time, even doing this, I still wouldn't want to cook elaborately every day. It's more so that I just do love healing foods. I find because I eat so much whole foods, I just tend to eat like random foods, like an apple or banana. I never really cook much things. Greek yogurt with blueberries, or raw cheese with honey, things like that. But one of my favorite things in the winter is soup. So even though I love being on a farm, I honestly would not want to just like live, I think I said this earlier, like I would not want to live just here forever. Maybe it's different when you have kids, like there's more commotion. I mean, I like the peace, it's not that I'm craving commotion. I find myself craving the city as well. I find every city that I've lived in, or when I say lived in, it's like I have spent like 3+ months in. I've always felt myself craving the countryside and felt so depleted every time. Oh my god, my onions. Onions make my eyes water. I always feel myself craving the countryside. Like I was saying earlier, it just helps you be more productive. It's silent, and when it does come to everyday life, you're not looking at words and have these things pull you away. But at the same time, I find myself like just being slower. Pros to slowing down actually can probably propel you forward, but also I just feel like sometimes, I don't know, maybe it's just a mental thing that I do. It's like all in my head and all my fault. I don't know, but I feel like when I'm in the city and I'm close to a yoga studio and I would live in a city, I would just like wake up early and go to hot yoga. I mean, I didn't do that in New York, I didn't do that in London, but when I was in Canada, I liked that. Funny thing is, like living in a city in Canada was my favorite place to live, because the cities in Canada are far more condensed than American cities. I don't know, I like that way that Canada is. I think Canada's pretty big, but it's just way more condensed. Like you could walk it. I mean, I did live in a smaller city in Canada, but the place I want to go, I want to move to for like at least a year. I'd be fine with living in the city for a little while, actually. But there's farmers markets for foods, like I like doing that. I could still cook. I just think my days of living in a farmhouse, it's for the future, when I actually have money to buy a farmhouse myself. Maybe in the future I have kids and all that stuff. There's so many different versions of me that I want to live. There's a version of me that wants to live in an artist loft in wherever they are in New York. I still want that. The part of me is like, oh, I'll just visit New York, because the reality of living every day, it's just not glamorous. It's not like movies every day. It could be if I was going to do these things, but then I was going to do these things. What could I write? What could I make that's actually sufficient? I don't know how people choose realities, like where they want to live. I have a really hard time. I've tried so many different realities. I've been to so many places, and it's not necessarily been like traveling. It's been traveling, but it's more so I've just stayed in one place for like 3 months and I've done that consistently. And I kind of got to see, like, okay, how would it be to live here? Well, I did get to see, because like you said, for 30 months you're living there and you do the kind of same routine and you do work from your laptop or whatever it is. You're seeing the way it would be to live here long term, and there's no place that I've been that I'm like, oh, I would actually want to stay here long term. It's like I crave stillness and I crave structure, but I'm also, I just can't commit to anywhere. I can't commit to anything. I have so much admiration actually for people that just pick one thing and stick with it. On one end, I think it's amazing to, I want to keep saying my eyes are burning, but I'm like, they really are. I have admiration for myself, I guess, to be so free, to go with the flow, to follow my intuition, and to not commit to something that doesn't feel right for me just because. But I also do have admiration for people, and I don't understand how their brains work. Like, I actually don't understand how, I guess most people are like that. How do they just commit to living one place? I've had to try all these different places to figure out where I actually want to go. No place will ever just be perfect. I have these sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. But I'm actually gonna make the squash soup with sweet potatoes. I think sweet potatoes are a superfood. Sometimes I wish that my brain didn't think about things so deeply. I can do small talk. I've conditioned myself to act stupider, but it's like I'm acting nicer in a way, and I realize this is a protection mechanism. I realize there's different reasons why I've done that. It wasn't consciously, but you know, now I'm aware of it, but being aware of it is different than actually changing. I guess I always just felt like I was too much. That was one reason. I was like too much, too deep, and I talked about all these deep things, and my family, they were always like, oh, it's, you know, it's just too much, too deep. So I just started to act more surface level unconsciously, and I guess that's the reason why I would come across, like when I run into a stranger, like I still to this day, I'm just like, oh, hi. And maybe that's just like not surface level, maybe that's just nice. Really in my mind, it's just so complicated and complex, and I don't even know how to articulate a lot of the things I think about throughout the day. And sometimes I wish that I could just be ignorant. Like sometimes I think ignorance is bliss. I know that's not true, because there's obstacles that also come with being ignorant to your own cycles and being ignorant to certain things. But I feel like my brain has just gone too far down the philosophy rabbit hole, but it's like I can't stop it. It's all I want to learn about, the meaning of life, why we're here. I have this desire for knowledge, and I think that's a beautiful thing, but also it's weird. You get answers, but it's not a definite answer, because nothing's really absolute, nothing's really permanent. Things can change, and nothing's really staying the same, and nothing's really a true reality. And that's something like I think about every day. What is reality? People think, okay, this world is reality, but my brain, there's something in my brain that's just shifted, and I just can't go back to not seeing the world this way. Sometimes like I wish I did not see the world in a certain way, and I could go have a life and do certain things. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to be boring. I don't want to have a boring life. I crave wildness, because at our true nature, we're all primal, we're all wild, I want to explore things, and I want to live a very fulfilled life, but I also think that a lot of these things come with companionship with people. Just things we're reflecting on lately, like companionship with people, family, philosophies. Are you even here alone? I went to this philosophy a few months ago, and I was like deep in it, and it's starting to come up again. I'm trying to like repress it a little bit, even consciously. I felt empty or something. I genuinely thought, are here alone for a moment. Like I was thinking, what if this is all not real? And the reason I started to think about this is because I started to think about AI and how AI is this interface. I used to think of like AI is the disconnection. For so long I was running into people. It was like almost everyone I would randomly meet. I don't meet that many people. It would just be like random occurrences. These people would all be building these like AI apps or something, or building these like AI programs. I try to educate myself on AI and to like use my own common sense about all of it, because it obviously is the future for doing a lot of things, the way of it and stuff like that. I started to think about, why am I running into so many people that is like building something with AI, you know, and knows a lot about it. It was trying to show me something. I think one of the things it was trying to show me, or whatever, I don't want to say universe, God, I don't even know what to say at this point, initiated the thought in my head, a seed. A seed was meant to be planted. where I was meant to think about the interface, because really people talk about AI, it's like so widely misunderstood. I've been saying for a long time, AI can't replace Christ consciousness, creativity. We're all beings that should attain that. I don't even know how to explain this. I was not planning on talking about it. I mean, I don't even know what I think about it myself. There's so much fear around AI online. There's a lot of people saying, oh, it's going to destroy humanity. The reason why I was saying like it can't replace human creativity is because it can't. But it wasn't meant to be this like separation. It was not meant to be this war. It's not like AI is the devil and human souls are the angels. And even with like good and evil and heaven and hell, all these extremes exist within this like one world with this one dimension. I need new words for my vocabulary, because I feel like if I just learn a new word, I'll have better ways to describe what I'm trying to describe. It's like I have a loss for words because I don't read that much. I have a loss of words for things I'm trying to say, but also it's like I have not conceptualized this in my mind, so it's like I'm trying to talk on something I have not even conceptualized. Really, AI is going to help people speed up their workload. It's not that you're gonna give your job or give your work to AI. It's that we're all meant to be these individual creators. We're all meant to create our dream reality. We're all meant to be sovereign individuals. The world that we live in currently, we all rely on these systems to survive. And I guess this kind of does tie into going back to living on the land or living in a farmhouse. So many people crave that kind of life. That's also not sunshine and rainbows. We're not going back to the way it was when we all had this land and we were farming. And I'm on a farm right now, and I was talking to this lady who owns all of this wheat. It's like surrounded by wheat, and she's saying like it's not as hyped up as you think it is. Like they don't get paid. And I know that's because of the systems, the way it is, and the system is buying that. And they don't pay the farmers so much. It's like hard work to live on the farm and to do that, even if you do have community. We're never going strictly back to the way it was, but we are going forward. Even though the world is very dark right now and a lot of things are ending, they have been ending and things are destructing, but things will be better in the future, and I have so much hope for that. I really do believe that. And I think AI actually is not going to stray us away from humanity like people think it is. I think it's going to help bring people closer to their individual sovereignness, so they won't have to rely on these systems. And that's why they're putting fear in everyone. That's why they're fear-mongering everyone. Because even Diary of a CEO, he's having like a lot of guests that are like speaking fear. He even said on the podcast that what he's hearing in private conversations is not what they're saying. He's hearing two different things. I think that AI is going to be a mirror, right? Like it's going to be the interface that reflects you. So people say, oh, you should not talk to AI. You should not talk to a robot. Yeah, go talk to your robot. It's more informational than most people. We do need human connection, and AI is not meant to replace that. I think the sex robots thing is a whole different thing, and a lot of people love those, but that's a whole different thing. You can't outsource love and human connection, and there's things like that which we do need, but hopefully this will even bring us closer. I think when we evolve as a collective, eventually more fulfilled in our individual roles, which probably won't be for many people, it's like hundreds of years for so many people. Some people will achieve it in this lifetime with using AI, and some won't. Maybe they'll come back and reincarnate or whatever you believe. My thing just cut out, but it was a sign. It's a sign, because I would have been talking for like 5 million hours, and I need to do a podcast about that, talking about what I believe about AI, and then also and how it's connected to humanity. I also need to do a podcast talking about these experiences I've had, going through the different, I guess, philosophies, you'd say? I don't know. I'm too tired for this shit. I just like to be silent. The thing is, like, I really just love to be silent, and it's so funny, because obviously I have a podcast now, and all this stuff, and I just talk all the time. But I'm talking to myself. Like, I actually quite like talking to myself. It says something about our society when people are like, oh, you're crazy if you're talking to yourself. I'm pretty sure that makes me pretty sane. You can't talk to yourself, how do you talk to others? It's a indicator of a clear mind. Funny how it's often demonstrated as an illness or something if you talk to yourself. I need to figure out what things to do to record myself doing, but then I feel like I'm just like doing things that are on my laptop, or it's like too hectic. My life is like too crazy to just document it. Like I'm just like, I just can't right now, or I'm like going through a transformation and I just have to like honor it. And it leaves me to like the peaceful cooking moments, I guess, but it's fine. I guess, for now. I would not want to cook like this every day for a family. No, would not. Once in a while. Actually, I was just listening to Alana song. It was, the lyrics are saying, the great ones lost their minds. So I don't want to change something like that. And it is true. You have to kind of lose your mind to be a great artist, I think. Because without losing your mind, there's no transcendence. Anyways, I need to stop talking like this. No, I don't. It's me. I can't help it. I honestly didn't even know what this is, but I thought it'd be good in soup.